Alright, good evening everyone. Welcome to something a bit different. Welcome to something a lot different. So, we're going to spend a bit of time poking around with Meiou&Taxes 2.0. It's not done, it's not out yet, but the kind folks working on it sent me a wee preview copy to play around with and got the okay for streaming it as well. So, like I said, maybe we'll give it about half an hour to an hour of just fiddling around with it, seeing what's new, and just admiring it. Probably not going to start a proper playthrough today, because if I remember my times jumping into the original Meiou and EU3, yeah, you need to get your bearings before jumping headlong in. Also, I'm quite keen to get back to Timbuktu. So what is Meiou&Taxes? Well, Meiou&Taxes is a complete overhaul mod for Europa Universalis 4. I played Meiou for EU3 way back when, and Meiou&Taxes is already out and about, but 2.0 comes with huge changes for it. And since I haven't been playing Meiou&Taxes, I'm not even going to be sure what all the changes are. See, I said long ago that when I tired of vanilla EU4, then I would start playing Meiou&Taxes. The trouble is, I'm not tiring of vanilla anytime soon, and a big part of the problem there is that I keep working on it and making it how I want to keep playing it, so you can see the conflict within myself here. It's also worth getting the small print out of the way here. I am playing this not as a dev of Paradox whatsoever. As with every stream I do from home, this is just Jake the Scot playing here. So I'm not endorsing this in any official way. I may very well endorse it personally, but hey, that's my call to make. So whatever garbage I spout today, it has nothing to do with Paradox, it has everything to do with me. Now, I loved Meiou for EU3. It brought the whole game, which I had played to death, alive once again. And I am straight as a pretzel, but I would bed this map. I am always in love with the map that comes out of Meiou, or in this case, Meiou&Taxes. The sheer amount of detail and love that goes into everything is just astounding. And it's probably worth our time spending a wee while actually admiring the map here. And I remember when Shetlands and the Faroes weren't even on the map. So it's not that it's just a map change, this is a complete overhaul mod, which means just about everything you know and love will have changed in one way or another in this. So if you have questions, throw them in chat, tag me with @DDRJake, there's a high chance I won't be able to answer any of them, because, well, I've only poked around with this for maybe half an hour. I do have a proper campaign in mind. I would like to play as Granada, but I don't think we'll be doing that right now. Granada's situation 1356 is at least more favourable than that in 1444, but they are still small and puny compared to the large Christian invaders to the north. I see somebody saying, ugh, that HRE. I wonder if that's like, ugh, I want to be in that HRE. So there's a lot on the map to admire. There's not even a Brittany here, there's a Montfort, and France is in pieces. Many pieces. Some people are complaining about the audio, but I don't know if that's just them. So yeah, France is utterly littered in subjects here. And yeah, their first idea they're going to get gives them extra Diplo relations. So what do they have here? They got Orléans, Anjou, Armagnac, Aquitaine on the map. Even Albret. And Foix. Foix is finally back. Happy days. Can you show some of China and Asia at some point? I think I'm going to go through the whole damn map here. Because just, the map is so huge, the province is so tiny. I really like that. I don't think it's something that could really be in the base game, even if I really want it. But just look at those provinces. Just look at them. And there's Roma right there. Tiny individualistic province. Coming down to Naples with a questionable colour and Sicily on the map. Of course, Naples looking at Sicily with hungry eyes and cores all over the place. And this HRE, holy smokes. Now this is right at the Golden Bull. We've got the HRE stretching all the way over to Stolp, up to Dithmarschen, along over into Hainaut. And Burgundy is a real shattered wreck compared to what they normally are. We've got wee Geneva right here, or Geneva. I played through with them. I think that was one of the last Mayo campaigns I ever did. Took Geneva and just united France. Oh, I remember breaking France so hard. Loads of tags that you'll have never heard of if you only play vanilla EU4. I mean, who's ever heard of Milan? No, we like the Grishun around here. Switzerland, another joyous nation to play, starting out with their alliance with Grishun. Small and not yet truly united here. And then there's Austria, who still have a fair bit of lifting to do, but they got their cores for it, and their alliance with Hungary, who is not yet feeling the big old bulge of the Ottomans poking into them. Now the Ottomans have their work cut out for them. They don't have Constantinople, but they do have their little beachhead into the Balkans. So I think, if I recall well, the Ottomans get a lot of bonuses, or they got a lot of bonuses in Mayo to help them surge up. And they'll end up with claims all along here. They'll take down the last of the Empire of the Romans. Well, unless you play as them, and then I would say, wow, what OP ideas, but these are, I think, nerfed down from the base games ones by quite a lot. Just no matter where you go in the map, it's just so very interesting. Now, I'm saying this not having played it, but I played Mayo. And I'm convinced that it takes a lot of what was great there and makes it better. Sweden starts out in their civil war with Sverige. Whoever comes out on top will essentially become the new Sweden. And this is not the day of the Kalmars. Denmark do not have their personal unions here. Kara 777 is saying show Poland. You know, Poland, not much has really changed here. If anything, Mazovia is a bit smaller. They don't have their little chunk down here near Lublin. Lots of little miners over on the Polish-Bohemian border. So I can check those out. There's quite a few. Cells, some of Bohemian Opole, Rachborzova. So many miners to play. I mean, it gets to the point even in EU4 where all the miners have had their time in the limelight. This one just turns it up to 13. I wonder if Bohemia have core. Yeah, they've got cores. In fact, they've subjugated most of these already. My history fails me. I thought that was Danish at this point. Yeah, don't be silly. Mind you, Adventure Island is still holding strong. It's probably not all that great. Yeah, it's got a population of 1. So they run with population here. So they got pops instead of straight up development. And there's a whole lot of interaction to change that. You'll end up with... well, you know what, we'll jump into the pops when we get into the game. Hungary looking big and strong. You know, this is pretty much the Hungary patch. And Croatia as a vassal of Hungary. Another personal union there. Venice, pretty interesting as well. Venetia not represented as an island going along a... or is it? Is that a strait? Hard to tell, but I don't think they are a strait here. Anatolia, what an interesting place. Played as Cyprus once. I don't think they had 2 provinces when I did it. And a whole lot to deal with over in Anatolia. But this is all pretty much destined to become Ottoman. Can you show us Rus as an Eastern Slavic? I want to check how detailed everything is, says Link and Trends. Oh, we will get there, I promise you. Actually, somebody else is saying show Russia and the Hordes, so we can take this short moment to admire Anatolia. Admire the fact that the Knights still have their mainland holdings here, and they got loads of little provinces around here to represent we merchant trading posts, so Genoa have that. And yes, Theodora on the map. And we've got the White Horde as well. There's no gold here. I'm sure there can be in the future. So the lands of the Rus, and we might as well include Lithuania in that, you know, they're just discount Russians. Plenty of miners here, including my favorite Belozero. And these guys are awesome, and they get 2 provinces as well. Got Novgorod, tons of wee miners. Yaroslav, Galich, Shny, Novgorod. We know quite a few of these. Muscovy is just itty bitty. They have not yet subjugated the rest of the Rus, but they have cores. They've got a couple of subjects, and I'm pretty sure they'll get a helping hand to rise up here, as long as the White Horde does not dominate through them. Ryazan looking pretty good. I've never heard of Novosil. I know Bryansk here. Karashev, Vortnik, yet more Ryazan. Plenty of pops over in Muscovy, but I think if you played as someone like Ryazan or... Oh man, Morom is back! I have very fond memories of Morom in EU3. Well, that's a story for another day. Also worth noticing, everybody's starting out on Tech 5. That's not some massive help up. The tech is a lot more spread out here. We've got the Livonian Order and the Teutonic Order, but this is Teutons actually having Livonian as a vassal rather than a free nation here. When did Lithuania go Christian again? Not now. We have the Romuva religion over here in Lithuania. Check it out now. I don't know what their bonuses from that is, but it's something we can certainly check out later. Mostly Catholic around here. We have a wee bit of shamanism up to the north of Scandinavia, but I think, yeah, those are all uncolonized provinces. We've got the last Moors of Iberia, plenty of Orthodox around, and the Sunni, so nothing really changing here from regular setup. I want to point out that, yeah, Iceland not looking so inhabitable this time. More provinces, mind, as far as I can tell, but not taking up the whole island. That center bit is considered inhospitable. I think that's us having looked at everything over in Europe. My beloved hordes are big and blobby, and there's a whole lot of wasteland around here in Central Asia, and are these wasteland? No, they look pretty pretty colonizable to me. So yeah, plenty of wastelands, and what they have here are, if I'm not mistaken, they got these, I'm not sure what those VVVVs are. They love their long tracts of land through wasteland, and even, yeah, here we go. There are straits that lead to these, so inland straits connecting this province to here. So most of this is considered wasteland, but with wee bits and bobs here and there. So if you wanted to play as Banu Kalib, well, good luck, basically. You'll have to mount an expedition over to the Banu Timin and unite these guys. Yeah, Persia region. I would be struggling to tell you much here, but we finally have the Jalarids back on the map. I remember, again, them from EU3. Georgia looking fairly unchanged. Circassia having to lick the, well, lick the White Horde. Maybe they'll get this land back later. Maybe. Shirvan and a whole bunch of wee miners here. Abzania, but Ostia. Chechens. But I don't think we have Tabaristan. No. Still a lot of wasteland around here. I mean, this I think is gorgeous. Just the detail put into terrain map mode. Look at that. That certainly looks like somewhere you don't want to be. But don't tell that to the people of Herat. Somebody's asking about the New World. We'll look over it there before too long. Commitment Tissue is saying, is this an update or something? Now this is Meiou&Taxes. Well, hell, it's in the title. I'm sure plenty of people will repeat that time and time again. India. Got a lot of love for India. And is it there? Yes! Cochin is still in it. Good old Hindu Cochin with a high population and very desirable lands. They're in a bad spot, but I'm feeling good about them. I really want to play as them. If I recall well, Vijayanagar, they do terrible things to you. Actually, Vijayanagar own the land up here. Normally there is Kochi, Taranako. There's another nation normally here, but it looks like they've been gobbled up in this version. Man, between Vijayanagar and Madurai, Cochin would have a hard time. But I really think I want to play as Cochin. I'll be tossing up between them and Granada, really. Jaffna is still present on Ceylon there, as expected. And I've got the Bahmani, the forever enemies of the Hindus in Vijayanagar. I think they model the Hindus a lot stronger. At least they did in Meiou. Like I said, a lot of what I'm assuming is based on my time playing Meiou rather than Meiou&Taxes here. There's way too much information to process on top of the main game. Well, that's just your opinion there. Will you / Paradox add more detail to the provinces in the base game? You're doing a great job. Always enjoy your videos. Keep it up, says Cedric131A. Well, we're always adding more provinces. If you say more detail, I'm not sure what you're after. If you mean something like this population system, well, I'd have to have a better look at this to see how it works. But obviously I couldn't really tell you, oh yes, we're planning on doing this and this and this with the game, because that would totally mean I walk into work tomorrow and have no job. Bhutan, still alive, still strong, actually on the map here in 1356. So if you're wanting to rise with the Vajrayanans, Bhutan's a tempting choice there. I wonder if they can form Tibet. I mean, you wouldn't want to if you're Bhutan, but because you already get the great old Tibetan ideas. Looks like discipline's been halved. Pretty sure Tibetan ideas are meant to have 5% discipline. Stability cost also reduced there. The Tibeto-Burman tribes. I think I've seen that flag before. And they follow the Adi faith rather than animism here. I think that's the only place in the world with the Adi faith too. That's pretty hardcore. Well, who's up for another run of Manipur? Got Tripura and Desmond? Forgive me for being a little confused here, but thought I would have seen Desmond over there. Well, maybe I'm getting lost on a tangent there. Still, Manipur looks in that bit better a situation here. Jake, don't you work in Sweden? You got the Shan Confederacy as well, Sadira. And China is in pieces. So this must be Yuan dying. They're on their death throes right now. They saw cores all over everything, and quite a few of them... no, actually it looks like they've got a lot of them paying tribute to them, with subjects on the rest. Interesting. If I remember playing Meiou, Yuan's on their death throw with the Ming and the Min and the Qin all rising up in, I can't remember if they're separate wars or the same wars, bringing them right down. Jake, Desmond in Galge is Des Mumhain, southernmost Irish province. Yeah, there we go. Knew I was thinking Irish there, not something I ever want to do. The Vietnamese looking very well there, and so little has changed in Southeast Asia here. More provinces, sure, but the political shape-up is picture perfect, really. Dali! Vassal of Liang. Gotta kill Dali everywhere I go. Tangu exist, they are subject to Ava, but we all love the Tangu. No cost for reinforcing, that's a sickeningly good idea. Starting out with discipline, tax, they get core creation cost. Basically, Tangu get fantastic ideas, both in vanilla and here it seems. Worming our way down, we've got a whole bunch of these guys that I honestly know very little about, but I wonder if we still have gold here. Gold, I think, was in Pandang or Minangabao. Honestly, couldn't tell you. And we don't have a single Brunei around here. We've got, well, quite a lot of inhabitants here in the Spice Islands. I guess playing around here is a very strong area if you want to take it all over. Check the chavs, Jake. We'll get right there. Seems that Oceania is still extremely vacant. The otakus of New Zealand. Actually, New Zealand seems to have the same, if not fewer, provinces than in vanilla, but population is bare minimum around here, it seems. But if it's like Meiou, then like EU3 Meiou, that is, colonization takes on a life of its own. Such an inhospitable load of mass here. Kinto. And is Papa also? Yeah, still wasteland. Excelente. Then there's Japan. So who do we have over here? We've got the Ashikaga. They've got plenty of alliances, marriages, and truces. So they don't model it as a subject system here. At least as far as I can tell. Japanese monarchy. Oh, it's worth pointing out again that what I have here is a sneak peek version, which means there's probably going to be quite a lot of things like localization that aren't in there. For example, we see Japanese _ monarchy. Good old Fuji-sama. So many of them, but if we have to go for my favorites, that would be the Ainu, who are not here. Oh, I'm sad now. This I remember quite liking when I played in Meiou, Japan, though you actually had the wee islands inhabited. Is this its own province? Izumo? Or is it part of this? No, it's part of the mainland here, but that island certainly is not. Neither is this right here. So tiny population out there. Then we've got the Manchus. They don't know what to do here. I'm sure eventually a strong leader will unite these guys. Yeah, Yuan is mighty here. I wonder if they have like failing empire modifiers. And what is this? We've got the Saha showing around here. They are, of course, paying their tribute to Yuan. They might want to get Fa Awa from there. And then there are the Chavs, but the Chavs do not exist here. They decided not to have the Siberian clan councils existing. Jake, I'm afraid Japan isn't really modelled at all. Since it broke a few versions back, we never really had the time to overhaul it. That's understandable. There's other messages coming in, but it's hard to keep track of them. What's happening in Korea? What Korea do you mean? I'm looking at Goryeo. Man, I want a more high-res version of that flag. I mean, I have a kind of Korea flag, but that looks even better. But they are truly the nation that's barely changed for so long. Next to Shen, though. Yeah, I never hear much from Shen these days. Not that I have a hotline to him, but I don't see him streaming so much. Maybe I'm not paying attention. Alright, so that's 2 continents down at least. 3 if you count Oceania. What's going on in Africa? North Africa looking much and such as expected. We got Fez, we got Tlemcen. We got, well, this is a little different, but the Hafsid now. With a few tribes around here. The Mzabi people. They're sitting here going, kill me please. And I think Northern Africans are only too... Oh, excuse me. Kind of late already. North Africans are only too happy to oblige with that. Various tribes kicking about on the trade routes that essentially lead down to West Africa. Kelboktu. That's not Timbuktu, but I guess it's close enough. No, not with that population, they're not. Mali dominates at this time. Essentially, they could eat up all these guys with, as they want. Jollof looking strangely strong here. And these provinces, I think, they exist well for colonizers to come and smack down their wee trading posts there. Ah, Shen's up and he's playing Stellaris. Okay, there we go. I usually just check for Europa streams. We've got the Kong, glad to see them, and we've got Nupe, still with our Nupe flag here. First time I played as Nupe was in Meiou. I really enjoyed playing as them. I went for the lowest quality imaginable, and I got so destroyed by Europeans. It was, if I wasn't laughing, I'd be crying. Calabar is a nation? So the religion we have around here, we've got the West African spiritualists, but this is the time when well, the Muslim faith was kind of pervasive and taking over. I think we're going to see a lot of that throughout this. Animism still just hanging around here over in Yeo, Kanembornu. It would take quite a bit to get used to this change because, well, there seems to be a lot of waste. Or is that rivers? Are those impassable rivers? I don't think so. Hard to tell where wasteland is and is not, but I think we have crossings along this. Yeah, it is wasteland. There we go. Would take a bit of getting used to compared to the original. Ethiopia, they got a sliver of land. No, not quite. Oh, the Mamluks are probably going to have a bit of trouble with that disconnected province there. In any case, down to Ethiopia, good old gold mines. They got a couple of cores, one looking quite disconnected, and the Jews of Simeon, present on the map in 1444. Torna's asking to see the HRE again. Well, hold that for once we've looked at the whole map, because trying to maintain some kind of focus here. Adjuran, and in fact much of East Africa, looking as you would expect it. Kilwa, Mutapa with Putua, and yeah, we know these guys through and through. Same with the fine folks over in Madagascar. We've got the Cape. Well, that's not the Cape as I know it, and it's not some massively... No, here's the Cape. Man, that's just the level of detail they go to. You think, oh yeah, in big provinces, wasteland, and then it's like, no, 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 it's tiny, it's down there. I really like that. I like that a lot. But it's going to make anybody who wants to conquer everything feel kind of twitchy, because it's probably not going to be so easy in this. Jake, are you going to seriously play this when it comes out? Also, in your personal opinion, is this mod something that PDX could buy and turn it... Well, I can't really comment on that. In your personal opinion, is this something work-related? That doesn't really mesh at all. Sorry if you've seen this question before, my internet is dying. Well, my heart is ready to burst over looking at this map. It is pretty gorgeous. If I would say one thing, it's a bit dark, but I kind of like the grainy look to it. It looks like something I could actually reach out and touch. Okay, time to check out the New World. Falklands, you're never going to have it. We've got the poor Mapuche looking kind of lonely down here, and it's a long way up before you find tiny little Cuzco here. Enormous population though. It's hard to really get a feel for what impact that all has, but looking at Lupaka here, seems to be one province and it's got a ton of population. I love this lake up here, although it doesn't look very animated, does it? This water is definitely animated, but this stuff... They are, of course, following their Inti faith. And then, okay, we've got the Musa faith, but you don't have, like, the Carib around here, as far as I can see. Absolutely nobody inhabiting the Caribbean. And where's our good old Aztecs? Do we have our good old Aztecs? Not really. Maybe there's something you can form, maybe they're just not going to be around. And I remember this in Meiou as well. They just leave North America completely uninhabited of tags. I can't remember what the call on that was, but Native American spiritualists. Toltekiotl, Mayan, Inti, pantheist. That's kind of cool. I wonder if it's something you could actually be. The people of Muska are probably the only ones that get a chance to go over to it. So I want to get a run through completely religiously. I mean, all the normal things you see, like the Shiite, the Sunni, the Christian faiths, they're nothing too new. West African spirituals is kind of cool. I want to see what that's made of. I've got the Ibadi and the Hindus, of course. More Shiite, but we don't see anything too interesting here. What are you? You guys are Hindu, but this province is actually, it's Adi. I'm really curious what this Adi religion is. It probably isn't full of its own, more Adi around here. Probably doesn't have its own mechanics and such. I could be surprised, but couldn't see it happening. And we've got here, Miaphysite. Wow. Actually in the game. How about, yes, Zoroastrianism is still ever so slightly more alive. I mean, it's still dying at this time frame. more or less purged, but still hanging on just there in the heart of Persia. The Remuva, as we said, over in Lithuania. Plenty of Confucian, still a touch of animism, and then the various Buddhist sects around here. They don't use Shinto here, they keep the Mahayana faith here. Jake, Manipur, play them. It's on the mind. It's on the mind. And then we've got the Atua people down here. I wonder if they do anything other than get wiped out. No, there is going to be tags for it. There's Atua Makassar. I think they're just animist in base game. More Hindus around here. Vajrayanans. So no... I mean, Islam has landed in Southeast Asia, but it hasn't quite taken over like it had in 100 years' time from now. They're playable. This is the first place they were playable, you know, before EU4 did it. Playable Maldives with their singular province and singular population. Alright, so that's the map. If you want a more detailed look at anything, cry now, because I'm going to start playing soon. Somebody else was asking to look at the HRE, though. Maybe we should take a closer look at some of the tags before people put in their questions, though. Will you gloss over the other timestamp shape? No. We'd be here all day if we wanted to look through the way the map goes. So some notable nations that I really like from playing Meiou and I see are still here. We got Trois Evachés. Sure, some French people just died from the way I said that. You've got some very, well, cartographers beware. There are very broken up provinces here, but such is the way of the HRE. The base vanilla game kind of simplifies the situation. I'd say it makes for better gameplay, but this, if you really get a stiffy over the maps, then I think this is more for you. Are there any Norse provinces left? We've just got the Shamanist up to the north. Norse is a dead religion. Can you look at Lübeck and the Hansa provinces? Sure, Lübeck's tiny here. I did a campaign as them once before back in original Meiou. They've got their alliances, just Hanseatic ideas, and they are Hanseatic Imperial City. Cool. And that, I love that flag. You forgot the Jews in Ethiopia. No, I didn't. No, I did not. So much tiny detail around here. Bremen is truly getting the squeeze on here. Still a free imperial city. Benthien, never heard of them. Tickelberg, also never heard of it. And a free city of Ulm still on the map, as well it should be. Oddly small population, but Einstein will pop out of there. Hohenzollern, there's a good strong country, and if memory serves, it's a shame there's not a trade goods map up here. I wonder if we could change that someday. If memory serves well, there's actually silver mine here, so it's a good place for getting that sweet dosh. Basel, nice, Basel is still around. Somebody's asking to look at Munster. Here we go. Or maybe you mean Munster. Here we go. They got a couple of provinces. Don't they have more than 2 in vanilla? It's like a real test of what I know and don't know. Miniature province of... Is that a province there? I don't know. It's part of that province. People asking about Byzantium. Alright, you get 5 seconds of them. Here they are. Here are their cores. Pathetic. Here's their religion. They're gonna die. Empire of the Romans. You know, they never referred to themselves as Byzantium. Became a pejorative after all. Of course, the HRE flooding all the way down into Italy does not include... does not include the island here, though. What a beauty there. I mean, you could have a whole game that's just in the HRE, never bothering to look outside, and you'd have no end to the interesting times here. There's no Ashfart, though, Jing. Yeah, sure. Biz actually have fewer cores than an EU4. Will you remember that and nerf them? Listen, I am always first in line to smash down the nerfs on Byzantium. If anything, they have an easier time now than they've ever had before, but, you know. It's, There's someone that you can just sit back and watch kill themselves. You don't need to go out of your way for it. So many tags, though. I mean, if I had to pick one in the HRE, I'd be in a difficult situation. I do like Hohenzollern. I still really like Geneva. They have divine ideas because, of course, they are bishopric. They are naturally in the HRE, but they're right on the border of it. And France are hugely big and strong. Check that population, 525 compared to the English, 287. And they're only in the War of Breton Succession. There's no 100 Years' War going on over the throne. Well, not now. Oh man, how could I forget Navarre? So, you might remember Navarre just being here. They don't even have the coastline in Meiou or Meiou&Taxes, but they still have their holdings in northern France. They're still there to drive fear into the French and the English. And plenty of cores, because they've not long lost their lands around here. Nice. Somebody's again asking for a wee look at Russia, so there we go. Not sure what there is to say. Tver, Muscovy, Galich, Ryazan. Loads of tags, loads of Orthodox, loads of Horde to destroy. See, all the Horde's only holding on to their Sunni lands. Maybe a bit of, is that shamanism? Yeah, shamanism. Otherwise, just putting the Rus in their place. Jake chat cuts off one line at the bottom. How dare it. Hopefully you're a bit more satisfied now. Oh, now I'm going to be fidgety over that. There we go. There we go. So, loving the map, and we haven't even looked at anything in the game. So I'm not seeing... Great Perm is Shaman. What government type are they? They're a feudal monarchy. And yes, indeed, they are shamanist. I guess they haven't learnt the glory of orthodox ways. Somebody is asking to see Livonian and Teutonic population. So a combination of about 105. And Poland have got 148. Litauan's got 158 there. But of course, they're struggling with their religion there. They got the Romuva. Remover. And this isn't even going over the existing cores that could break away. I'm sure there are no shortage of those. Let's jump into the game and start seeing what it has to offer, because we have we spent quite a while looking at the map now. Time well spent, in my opinion, but there's more to it than just the map. Now, as a reminder again, I'm not looking to be starting a new campaign right now in Meiou&Taxes, but I will be doing it soon. I promised that I would when I met Jigo quite a while back, and I am warming towards Granada, really, but I don't know, Cochin is still has my heart in a headlock. So, we started out, there's so much to take in so quickly. I've never been a big fan of having the flag like this rather than the shield, but that's just my own taste. Look at the macro builder here. Big enough to actually fit everything here. Scottish Chilron, I don't know why they're blue. Maybe it's because it's a special unit type. I like what they did with this to... bless myself. I like what they've done to save the space here, so kind of merging the information. Might get... sailors seem to have been clamped down heavily here. Stability, corruption. Corruption not going up. Prestige, loads of modifiers. There are modifiers everywhere in Meiou. And truly it's the experience for people that find that base game is just not grand enough strategy, I guess. Working on the power projection, that's nothing new. The trusty Meiou graphics for your envoys. Great powers right there. So great powers in the world: Delhi, Yuan, Bengal, Ming, Zhou, Mamluk, Qi, France, Scotland. So there is a grand total of 1 European power who is considered a great power. You'll notice that we have a technology penalty, whereas the likes of Qi, Zhou, Ming, They do not. We'll look more at that later. Basilius keeping me on the right there, saying, yeah, special unit type for your nation. Nice. So I see we got some Meiou&Taxes folk in the chat. Glad you could be around. I'm sure I'm going to say things that make you go, oh no, you fool, it's not like that. But that's always the way of it, isn't it just? But I'm here to Aberdeen. That's pure mental. I like what they do with the artwork here. It's like they've beaten me to the lesser known beaches of the world mod. Hang on. That's Highlands. Down here, yeah, Highlands as well. Awesome. And grasslands, plains. Hold on, grasslands gives plenty of supply. Plains, okay. But we must have farmland around here. Yes. Favorable terrain, each level of road network decreases travel. Okay, there's going to be a lot of stuff that goes in deep here, and I will not be able to cover it all in the time that I've got right now. So, Basilius saying, I'm a regular stream watcher. I like seeing you suffer. It's always good to be honest with yourself. Rami saying, does sneak peek mean I cannot find it in the workshop yet? Not yet. 2.0, or Meiou&Taxes 2.0 is not out yet. But they were kind enough to give me a wee preview of it. And mountains of Scotland, plenty of their highlands. I'm just playing, well, not playing, I'm just selected Scotland here because, well, big surprise, I am a Scot. So we checked all the stuff at the top bar. I really like the interface, the look that it has here. It feels that much more organized and polished here. Got the outliner options that we have. Nothing's really changed up here. Music player is still there, and I don't think there are new map modes. I don't think you could add map modes. I forget if that's something that modders have the ability to do or not. Probably not. Fancy graphics. The papacy looking real different here, and only Naples and the Papal State themselves. I don't think we had a good enough look at the Papal State. There they are, naturally in the area of Provence where they belong. That's their capital. And then who are these disgusting folks? The Roman Republic territories. Pope's gonna come and put a holy order up you. Maybe my thing was... Okay, I didn't get a chance to read all that. Maybe my earlier comment was a bit cheeky, but I do wonder whether this is turned into its own game. EU4 with all its blobbing, the ability to turn a country into a superpower is fun, but the idea that you can try hard to perform decently, even with a big country, is also appealing. I feel like Mayo could be an alternative for... Yeah, well, I mean, Mayo, as I've always seen it, is EU4 for people that want more EU4. But if you... Let's say you put Mayo on a platter and EU4 on a platter and give it to, like, the general public... I mean, the people really into it would love their Mayo, but I think it would, and I trust they won't take offense to this. I think it would scare off a lot of people if they were introduced to Grand Strat with this. Those that want more, though, by all means, take more. I'm taking more. There's still time. Lesser known beaches must prevail. It's still on my to-do list. I will do. Yes, I'll make it a promise. I will do the lesser known beaches of the world pack. Won't be an official pack. Heck no, but. Okay, we do not have a core on the Isle of Man. I remember that in EU3 Mayo, but it seems... Oh, of course, we've got our subject, the Isles, here. Led by this right old dunce. Guess you'd look to integrate them. So we have a lot of provinces here, plenty of population. But it looks like we've got this tiny starting army, so I wonder, since this is a complete overhaul mod, I'm expecting lots of big changes to, well, various things. It seems that we're a naive puppet master and a flamboyant schemer, so David de Bruce, he's all about his Diplo, I guess. I wonder how he fares as a general. Nay, shabby, that's how he fares. So... Looks like there's just vanilla advisors here. Morale, Navy, Spy, Construction. Yeah, I remember Mayo having like a Brazilian different advisors in EU3. But we have some added bonuses here. Looks like they doubled down on some of the military guys. I am wondering if that music is a touch too loud, so in the spirit of that, it's going down a chunk. Jake, are you saying that the Mayo is too hardcore to be commercially viable? You're putting words in my mouth now. I'm not going to make mention of the commercial viability of the mod. I'm just going to say what I feel about it. So moving over to the government. Oh my. Now the layout has changed and caught me unawares there. Got all this, all these modifiers. There's going to be plenty of modifiers in any Mayo game if I know my Mayo well. We got the Lowlanders, the Highlanders, and even some Norse Gaelic. Where are the Norse Gaelics? Ah, right. Of course, we don't have any, but they are in our culture group. If we check that out. Lowland Scottish with Northern English and Southern English. But then if we go over here, we got the Norse Gaelics over in our subject. Alright. That's where it comes from then. So what's our culture considered? Alright, we just accept them by default then. That's probably something worth removing so you can free up a slot, but what do I know? Okay, what else have we got? Various modifiers from being a county. Government ranks go county, marquisate, duchy, principality, kingdom, and empire. So they give 6 instead of the vanilla 3. We can change between things here. Frankly, I'd look for one that gives core creation cost reduction, but it's not happening here. Interesting. Absolutism seems to be enabled from the very start. That's interesting. Very interesting. Don't think there's going to be anything changed here, although this stuff has now become moddable. Alright, economy. I love numbers. I love money. Let's have a quick look at you. Money coming very heavily from taxation, but I mean, Scotland only produces kilts and haggis with a side of whiskey here, so it's not too surprising that we don't give out much in production, and trade is just a laugh. Oddly enough, we have civil service. Oh, right, no, I misread that. We have no civil service, silver, gems, or gold. But if I remember well, civil service can be found in Paris. No, wheat can be found in Paris. Okay, well, never mind that. We'll look at trade goods shortly. And my 1 unit isn't really costing me an arm and a leg. The fleet is just a wee touch. And we're gaining inflation, probably because we're so ancient. So we start with an institution tech penalty. They've added just a wee touch here. Meritocracy exists, starting in the Chinese region. I'm curious to see how you're meant to bring that over to Europe, because we know nothing about meritocracy. However, we have legalism. It's working well for us. And there's banking, which will apparently spawn in Liguria. Well, that's racist. Yeah, the Renaissance is yet to come, then literacy, trade, manufactories, and enlightenment. Neat. There we go, Scottish. I want to learn more about those, but we'll check those when we move over to units. Could you quickly look at the trade routes? I'll look at that in just a wee bit. Now this is... whoa, what's going on here? We start out with some quality for the Scottish Army. Well, sure. Takes looks like it takes 7 ideas to unlock some of these, and you get lots and lots of idea groups. Makes sense since the game does go on for quite a bit longer. Start out with extra shock, and we have core creation cost on us. Shocking. All know how popular that one is. Loads of ideas available to us here. Diplo, military, admin, administrative, asceticism ideas, economic humanism, popular religion ideas. And it brings down war exhaustion. That's lovely. Scholasticism ideas. State religion ideas. Lowered impact from... okay. They're using some interesting modifiers around here. Reduced inflation cost finally at a almost useful value. Almost. Diplo, espionage, culture ideas. Prestige decay, yearly prestige. Yeah, I've noticed that the prestige values seem heavily nerfed. Probably because they're so OP in the vanilla games. Like gain +1 prestige every year from taking this province. You're like, oh yeah, thank you. Give it all to me. Leadership, logistics, mercenary. Again, more monthly war exhaustion reduction. I mean, if you took this with popular religion, you'd never know of war exhaustion. And standing army as well. These things can stack. Looting speed, merc maintenance. Discipline. I'm surprised they don't use mercenary discipline there. Logistical ideas looks... I'm not seeing any straight up give you morale here though. Reinforced speed, enforcement, ships repair, leaders upkeep, attrition for enemies, discipline. Where's the morale? Or do they want that to be harder to get? Or maybe it's right in front of my face and I don't see it. That's nothing too unusual. And what is all of this? I just think that it might be a way to unlock new idea groups. Was there a naval? Maybe if you take naval, you'll be able to get Grand Fleet, Naval Quality, Leader, Merchant Trade. So you'd need to take naval, then get exploration, then do Global Empire and expansion. So this is what I think will happen. That's kind of interesting. So you got to take down certain idea groups in order to get other groups. That's kind of cool. That's kind of really cool. Any plans on rebalancing individual ideas in base EU4 for... Okay, so I'm just going to say, if people are asking me about like stuff that I will consider changing in EU4, I'm just going to be like, forget it. This is not about me and what I want to do with Europa Universalis 4. It's not that kind of stream. I'm here to look at Meiou on its own. Because I don't want to sidetrack away from this mod and what it does. Yeah, that might have sounded believable. Alright, so these idea things are really cool. I like that a lot. And there's so many of them that you can grab. Also seems like the values overall have been brought down. Does that mean their cost has been brought down? Tell me more. 300 apiece. Awesome. Decisions, yeah, just like Meiou, millions of things done through decisions and events here. Army for our nation, improve relations with the Isles, advance the frontier, deploy army tradition, prestige, and land enthusiasm. That's some hefty morale. Although I'm always about advancing the frontier. Those English gotta die. So a lot of these are essentially options that you do to hide various things that show up. Select special map. I don't even know. Choose a policy regarding our vassals. Yeah, okay. A list of actions you can take towards your vassals. Vassal integration is affected by years of vassalage. I remember that one. Development being centralized, decentralized, yada yada yada. The Isles assimilation is at 1.575%. Provide no changes. It'll end in 62 years. Ho ho! I'm gonna meet with them. Given its development, the Isles base integration time frame of 40. Okay, so it's just giving you more information about it. So it would cost to negotiate a tighter bond to them. I'm all about spending those costs. Okay. Very good. So they're probably going to integrate into us quite a bit faster. Probably. I mean, that's just an example of how things look with this. So if I... Alright, so we bumped that up considerably. Nothing at the moment, please. Do you know how heresy will come in? You should become a lollard. Jake, when are you going to bamboozle with Timbuktu? Once I'm done here. This plan at least. But I'm still having a poke around here. We can decentralize, but I'm guessing centralizing is all about gaining that power. Then again, I guess in desperate times you might need this. Time-lapse events I probably shouldn't be touching with. Boycott Jeu de Paume. It's a decadent sport and very tedious. We shouldn't arrange any games or accept invitations. However, the burghers may play their petty little game. No need for that. Tons of decisions. They probably go deeper than I have time to poke into right now. Jake, ideas are about to get an overhaul. I mainly converted the war exhaustion reduction cost to monthly war exhaustion reduction as a quick fix for pre-release because the button is no longer there. Yeah, which we've just gotten to. So you no longer increase stability at the touch of a button, nor does war exhaustion get paid down with Diplo, but it's a gradual process. You get stability points, which will gradually allow you to increase stability. It's kind of a relic from EU3, because you used to pay into stability or have it increase through various things that pumped it up. It was basically investment into stability. I mean, people complain about the EU4, you know, push button, receive bacon kind of approach to stability. But, oh well, to each their own. State numbers look even less gimped than perhaps in the base game after the trimming down of them. Thank goodness no civil war. Interregnum chaos. Well, we're not enjoying any regency right now. Global settler increase actually seems really high for this point in the game. Normally it's super low, but that's made up for by colonial range being pathetic. Unorthodox heretic. No, ultra-orthodox heretics. Okay. What do they want? They want me to tank prestige. Thanks a bunch for that. And we got Catholicism with, well, the whole cardinal thing. And what's this? Church influence? Okay, we have no church influence currently. Rulers have always had a close relationship with the church, but that did not always mean a friendly one. Religions were usually exempt from paying taxes, owned large amounts of property, and could criticize the ruler. On the other hand, the church could keep the population happy and help to eradicate heresy. When church influence goes up, it removes tax income from the state, but lowers revolt risk. As missionaries are shown. So very similar to Slider here, if I'm not mistaken. Some people love sliders, some people don't care for them that much. I'm pretty ambivalent on that. We got a missionary strength, but oddly enough we get extra interest for being Catholic. I see how it is. We could become duelist. That's pretty badass. I don't think we'd be very popular though. Almost none of our people support this religion. The state church has no power to oppose us. Interesting, but I'm not about to go down that snake pipe. Okay, military. This is something I've been wanting to look at. I start with a minuscule force limit of 5, because frankly our provinces aren't that good. Our morale is pretty in the pits. Nothing else here seems all that unusual. How many forts do I have, game? Just 1 out of 1. Now, these... Oh, we get the Scottish Black Watch. They seem pretty hard-ass. So this is back to kind of old values for units before they were done away with a complete rebalance. So looking at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are superior to regular halberdiers. So the Scots get some punishing infantry over at Tech 20 as well. I don't know how many different units will get unique units, but that's pretty awesome though. Pretty damn awesome. And of course, because we have private marshal, ours are that bit better. Have you looked over trade stuff yet? Not yet there. We're working our way through these. Your capitalistic desires will have to be put on hold. We have our one subject here, the Isles. Looks like we get all the usual stuff here. Got population, treasury. Could seize their land. Sure, that would anger them, but actually, do I have cores on any of their land? Sadly not. I'd be tempted to take it anyway, but that's just the kind of guy I am. They have no liberty desire. Hebridean, that's a good word. Otherwise, nothing of interest there, and I don't have any estates. I wonder why not. Can I give out estates? Yeah, I can. These are the estates, though. Freeholders, the state, lesser nobles, tribals, burghers, and greater nobles. I like the greater ones over the lesser ones. I see. Wonder why they're not there, but I think they pop up later on. When I played around earlier, they certainly did. So lots of stuff to look at there. Let's check the provinces as well, because they're super special. Let's look over at Edinburgh, because I really love Edinburgh. Huge number of available buildings. In fact, they're all available from the very start. It doesn't restrict it the same way we had before. So we've got basic local fortifications, trade wharf, a cathedral, marketplace, and a whole bunch of other things to build, using even some of the old graphics that were taken out of use. So I can get a warehouse to increase loads of modifiers that I'm going to be honest, I don't know the first thing about. Base urban gravity, urban production power, rural wealth growth. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. I'd have to look into it and read up some stuff, but looks pretty deep and probably affects this kind of stuff. Rural population. Each rural population unit represents 10,000 people. Then we've got upper class production. Gives that local trade power. I wonder what good they do for us. We've got trauma, renamed devastation, I suppose. Oddly enough, this city is quite revolting. Well, that is Edinburgh for you. Expensive place to take as well. Urban gravity is the obesity rate in your cities, Jake. I can believe that. Estates appear several months into the game. That makes sense. Herring. Herring gives us a bonus. I wonder why it's there and not here. Maybe it's because it is herring that we have here. If I went to... Okay, no, herring as well. They catch herring up here too? No, so herring in particular is special and good for Scotland. Linen as well. Linen is produced by the cities here. Tay Estuary. Oh, nice. Giving us an estuary bonus over there in Dundee. Just what the doctor ordered. So much to look at and tinker around with here in the province interface, including this button that is just begging to be pressed. Interact with the province. Visiting Fife. We sent our minister to visit Fife. While there, they can discuss important matters of the local estate. Construct roads, forts, bureaucratic. Yeah, give us some bureaucratic options. Moving capital? No. No, we will not. That is all. What can we do in Edinburgh, though? I like Edinburgh. Let's get some roads going. You've approached the locals about the prospect of improving the road system. Yeah, nice picture there. In Edinburgh. Roads are very expensive, but with prudent oversight and proper marshalling of various resources, we can defray much of the cost. We can add ducats towards the cost, spend manpower, demand that the estates assist, or we can even tap local wealth in order to complete the road. Road cost will vary, so it's looking pretty good. I could lose loads of money that I don't have. Contribute manpower. Yeah, I take some manpower. And look at all these Scots that are just itching to... oh man, it costs admin. I think I've reconsidered. Yeah, I think I've definitely reconsidered on that matter. So if I was swimming in the buckets of ducats, there's a lot of provincial improvements you could do, or you know, spend various resources. That's really cool. It's very much done through this. So this is like an option menu done here. So again, paying off various things. Nice. Much and such that this looks the same. I don't know why this makes fish appear there and then just makes other things go away. Seems like something you'd always want on. So, what else is there to look at? Well, people have been asking for trade, so I'm not going to look at that yet because we have an HRE screen to look at. Nice. Bohemia looking good on the Imperial throne there. He's got the Holy Hand grenade and his wee sword. Imperial authority going up. We've got the free cities, got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 electors all unanimously voting for... Oh, no. Brandenburg, you don't know what you're doing with your life. And then we have the usual reforms here. Now, uniting Germany would give you so much power in this game. There's just so many provinces and so much pop around there. Jake, there's no real purpose to that trade button, I think. We just can't make it not a button. True that. I guess there are lots of limitations like that one can run into. Institutions. I want meritocracy. How do I get meritocracy? Okay, it spreads just province to province, so it's something that's going to come over from China. Gives China that edge early game, which they deserve. Legalism, already got that. Banking, well, we don't know how we can spread that because it doesn't exist. I like this though. I really like this. All your different menus in one place. The state interface as well. The state stuff actually kind of gets in the way of that. Not the history though. That history. So I see in the base game states are limited to 5 provinces, but it looks like they limit it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? I'm going to do a quick click about to see if that is indeed the case. Oh! Can't fool me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so what we're saying is there can be big states. Gotcha. Back to good old Edinburgh, though. Institutions, we can recruit regiments. Regiments are expensive. 28 for a foot soldier. 44 for cavalry. And mercs turn that one up to 11. And it's extremely limited on the amount that you can have. So they turn down the amount of mercs that you can have in a big way. We only have a standing army of 1 guy, so we need to build up quite a bit more. War cog, galley, regular cog. Nothing new there. Well, the names are new. Hang on though, there's no trade ship. No, this is a light ship. There are no heavy ships. We haven't got those researched. They will appear when exactly? Oh, quite a long way into the game, so no heavy ships to start with. Interesting. It's 1 Scottish regiment. That's way more intimidating. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we can just go and crush England with what we have. Now, they're friendly with us. We even have historical friendship, so I could ally them against the, you know, the accursed French. But then the French are our trusty allies. So it's tempting to ally them against the English. I just don't know what good they'll do. The English have Albret as a subject, Montferrat and Navarre as allies. I just think England would slap my chops. No. England. Yeah, I mean, they only have 8, but they'd still slap my chops, I'm pretty sure of that. And I doubt that France would be able to sail over with what they have. But then England surely can't have any ships of war. You know, I'm kind of warming up to the idea of playing a Scotland game. It's the first thing I played in regular Meiou. United this, took this, and then everything was happy. Okay. Can you change a trade good in a province, Jake? I do not know that. But if Meiou is anything to go by, they can evolve through time. So, finally time to look at trade is what people are probably wanting me to say, but I'd rather look at trade goods first. Because we got quite a few different things compared to vanilla. For example, we have livestock. We have lumber. That's wool, right? Yeah, that is wool. Grain, as expected. We got hemp. Hemp's actually worth a good bit of money. Trade goods on the whole seem to be worth considerably less. We've got the tin. Yes, the tin of Cornwall is actually shown off here. Cheese! It's like I'm really playing patrician here. That's iron. It just looks different. Copper is there as well. And again, grain here. I was expecting civil service. Maybe that doesn't come to be. Got wine. Lots of new graphics for things. I'm trying to find some new... Yes, there we go. Olive oil. Doesn't have the huge value that I remember, but from Meiou, the original EU3 Meiou, things were desperately in need of a bit of nerfing down when it came to values, because things spiraled way out of control. What do we have here? Alum. Alum? Alum. Yeah, we got alum there. What else do we have? What do my elf eyes see? Yes, apiculture. We need that honey in our lives. You could be the real honey master. And I would want to be. I don't think that Scandinavia is going to hold anything too exciting for us. Here we go. Nothing new here. Dyes. but they're worth the tons of money here. Silver, there we go. Silver acts just like gold, if I recall. With the base production below 999, there's no... Okay, so gold mines do not deplete whatsoever in this. Any idea what might be a good nation to get started with and familiarize with when this releases? Probably better to ask the devs about that, honestly. Not me. That said, though, now warming up to Scotland. Campaign to break the honey cap. That honey reminds me of Best Hold 3. You take that language and you take it elsewhere. We've got, yeah, that's sugar canes right there. I'm going to be a cheating git and remove Terra Incognita because I want to see what other trade goods we have. Cotton, which oddly enough uses the wool stuff there. Okay, we got millet, and that means we probably have maize over here, right? Right? Yes, millet, maize, and grain. Cocoa as well. That used to be Mayo only, but that got introduced into EU4. Where's the gold? And obsidian. Awesome. Actually, I have that over here. Pepper. A slew of trade goods. Have we got any exotic East Asian stuff here? So much. No, that's not salt. That's rice. Delicious. Marble as well. Marble with huge amounts of money. Always. And what is this? Yes, the opium trade. Oddly enough, it's extremely cheap, but that'll probably change when the Europeans come along and ruin everything, as often they do. Ebony is around, worth good value at the start. Cinnamon. Oh, and that means we'll have, yes, cloves. Loads and loads of cloves. So, like, the difference between the value of goods looking fairly meaningful here. Precious gemstones working the same way that gold and civil service do. And I'm still wondering where civil service is. It's got to be somewhere, right? I was hoping it would be around, but maybe it's actually just not in the game right now. Nothing too new with millet. What do the Indians bring to the table? Is it anything that we haven't seen before? Tea is nothing terribly new. Well, if there's anything I've missed, you know, like dates, then they'll have to remain a mystery. But that makes it a lot harder to actually become trade leader in certain things. So what do you tell us about the trade goods? Oh, no strategic effect from them. That surprises me. So what did I miss? Subsistence agriculture, which I recall giving nothing. Pearls, never saw those. Slaves. I've missed that icon, I really have. Sandalwood, that'll appear when you colonize the likes of Oceania. Jewelry. People have always been fascinated with shiny things. Jewelry makes them even shinier. Steel and armaments and hardware and ammunition, those come much later on. Furniture, I think, as well. Brazil wood, I don't know where you'd find that. Penal colony. Nutmeg. Incense. Don't even know where we find that. So what's worth the most? Well, these things don't even exist, so they're not worth our time, but marble. Don't think coal will appear anytime soon right now, though. Is there incense? If there is, I don't know where it would be. So, finally, let's look at trading. Whew, where to even begin? I don't know. We'll look at North Sea first. We've got the North Sea. It flows all the way out into places. It flows into the... Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man. Andalusia is its own node here. Flows into the Hansa, flows into the Low Countries. We also have the British Isles. Paris is its own node. Got Genoa, Lower Danube with regular Danube. Novgorod, I love you. I've always loved you. And you're almost a feeder node, except you get the Rusland feeding you. Okay, lots of inland nodes then, so caravan trading will be worth quite a lot. Bosphorus, so it's not like Anatolia taken over here, or Constantinople node. Oh man, the trade here is intense. And Zanzibar, is it still extremely good? It flows only to the Cape. And the Cape still looks like the place to be a trader. Oh man, check everything that flows into the Cape. And the Cape only flows into Guinea. Okay, the Cape has become one hell of a node. And you can get it if you have this titchy little province here. Rural population, and then none of these other guys. Oh, I've missed this button as well. That was in EU3's Mayo. Settler chance, travel time, and a wee bit of natives. Provinces hugging the Nile are very cool. That does make a world of sense, doesn't it? I mean, this is where you're going to be living. Didn't you play Pharaoh? I did, not a lot of it, because I'm a Caesar man, but played some of it. Okay, so this is, like I was talking about, the connection between provinces. So there's a narrow strait across the Sahara, connecting it to Siwa, currently passable, blah, 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 blah. Because, I mean, there's not going to be ships here to block them. New World trade. If anything, looks a bit simplified here. Charleston to Atlantic, potentially to Canada, but along feeding to where exactly? Damn right, England controls it. Bay of Biscay. Hudson, what a nonsense place. And this is kind of cool. So the Californian, we've got our own death roads to Canada to go through here. So that's what I'm seeing. Okay, the trade here is huge. In fact, I couldn't really do this justice. Coral Bay as well. Could you turn off TI so when you zoom in it isn't so dark? Well, I have turned off that, but I think what you mean is fog of war. And that would make a world of sense. It is awfully dark when you zoom in though, that's one thing I'd say. I'm not sure if that's something I have power over, but one could hope. So much Germany. It's beautiful. Right, fog of war off, TI off, or back on rather. Let's unpause for a bit because we haven't actually done any playing. Wee introduction to Meiou&Taxes Total Conversion mod brought to you by Luke W, Jigo, and various others. Good old Harper, Sunwoo, the rest of the Meiou&Taxes team. The mod contains 970 new provinces, 450 new nations. Almost every aspect of the game has been either reworked or completely redone. No one attacks me with impunity. Let's keep those New World plagues on as well. Ottoman's not even missing a beat. Going straight to war with Kandar to chop them down to size. And they've already gotten claims across, well, all of what they're bound to take in the next 150 years, so I can't really hold that against them. Hold on, did they get a claim on Ryazan? If they did, I'm going to be very unhappy. Well, it's not called that. Wait, Ryazan? Ramazan. Ramesses. Okay, Cilicia is what it's being called here. And Bohemia is, of course, still the emperor here. So, Cilicia is what you call yourself. Oh, the knights also hold on to more here. Do you have the ability to raid? No, no you don't. Interesting. But you still shouldn't get that, Ottomans. Catholic faith, until it was supplanted by nationalism in the 19th century, religion was the driving force of the world. Study all religions, great and small. Go back to the trade screen after the setup events are done. Great Scott. Everybody's trading everywhere. I'm not sure what there is to look at on that screen once things are done. Oh boy, that's some chugging. Gonna need to upgrade my CPU, it seems. Well, Mayo has always been that bit more intensive on the computer, but that said, at speed 3, this is still a respectable speed. Let's cram it up to speed 5. I mean, it's gonna be slower. It does add over ever so much, but what do you expect? Monasticism. There are loads of choices. There are tons of choices. I am not going to waste everybody's time by agonizing over them right now, because that's what you should be doing when you play Meiou&Taxes. What CPU do you play on / with? I've got an i7. Seems to work just fine for me. There's going to be plenty of people asking when is version 2.0, Meiou&Taxes 2.0 out. Well, Jake, you've reached over 1,000 viewers. Your viewer reduction strats aren't working. Oh, damn. Alright, I'm sorry, Meiou&Taxes. Your game is clearly too good for my channel. We have some strict standards about viewer reduction strats around here. So we didn't really get around to playing proper, but I will. I'm telling you now, I will be playing a campaign on Meiou&Taxes. Depending how it's timed, it might be side by side with Timbuktu, because I want to jump into this before too long. I'm warming up to Granada. This is what I said I'd play when they asked me what nation I was looking at. But, you know, there is Scotland, and there is my old flame, Cochin. You know what? I might even ask you guys which one to play as. I don't know if I can throw up a poll or something later on. Or maybe somebody could throw one up right now. Cochin, Granada, or Scotland? You know what? I have the power to do these kinds of things. Why don't I just get straight onto that? Straw poll me. This is your chance to have a say on what I do in the stream. And now I don't do this often because, frankly, I don't care what you guys think. That might sound extremely rude, but it's a core pillar of this whole stream. Nah, we don't care about any of this. Create that poll. Alright, pop, there we go. It's up and it's available at the top as well. Wow. It's getting all in everybody's face there. Oh man, how many times am I going to accidentally mute myself by hitting... The problem is I have my mute key set to the go back one web page key, so that happens. Sean Strain 3001 saying, but Scotland. Sorry, but freedom isn't free. I think what I'm seeing here is that people want Granada and Cochin. I mean, it's pretty damn even. Granada pulling ahead by 2 votes. Jake, what if someone else restreams your stream and takes some of your viewers? That'd be a pretty hardcore viewer reduction strat. Okay, yeah, truly what I'm seeing is Granada and Cochin here. The people have spoken. But I think that's about it for this sneak peek at Meiou&Taxes. I know it hasn't been gameplay. We will get the gameplay. That'll come in the very near future. Probably this... Oh man, I hate to make promises I can't keep, because this is going to be one hell of a busy week. But yes, it'll be soon. It'll be damn soon. Now, what am I going to do here? Well, I'm actually going to have to exit out the game here. So goodbye, EU4. Hello. Well, let's bring up the Meiou&Taxes screen for just a wee bit, because it's time to get back to Timbuktu.